welcome to my channel, CutieinCosplay. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience or my adventures with Fanime, or just okay, I've only been to Fanime Con in San Jose, so I guess I don't really have anime convention experience, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. In Polnareff cosplay, so let's get into it. I've got my notes here so that I don't forget anything, because I've got a lot of stuff that I have rolling around in here, so let's start. Some backstory on why I love anime conventions now and cosplay in general. When I was a kid, I really loved dressing up in costumes. Like, if it was Halloween, I'd probably get my costume like maybe beginning October, and then if I went to like family or something, I'd wear that costume. I'd be like, "What guy is my costume?" And it was just, Halloween never ended for me. I love dressing up, and so at some point, I made a friend out of high school, or I guess I should say first. In high school, I never watched anime. Basically, all the people in my life that I knew thought people who watched anime were weird, so it wasn't really. And I did have some friends that watched anime, but the ones they watched I never really got into, and so it was like we had 3 friends, and so they'd talk about anime, and I felt very closed out of that, so I never really got into anime in high school. But out of high school, I met someone who showed me anime, and not long after, we went to my first anime convention, which was Fanime in 2019, and I had only watched a couple animes at that point. I'd seen the very first one, I think, was Yu Yu Hakusho, and then they showed me JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's where I fell in love with Polnareff, which is kind of funny. When I first watched part 3 and I first saw Polnareff join the team, I was like, who's this freak with no eyebrows? He's disgusting, I hate him, I don't like his character. And then as I watch him in the show and his character develops and his backstory, I just fell in love with him. I think he's hilarious and cool, and I just really like him. So he was the first character I wanted, first character I did, and first character I wanted to cosplay. So at the 2019 Fanime, that's the convention that I did do a very, very simple cosplay of Polnareff. I had this piece, I had these earrings that I made, I had a different top, I had these pants but I hadn't altered them yet, and I had these bags but I also hadn't altered them, so I had to like attach them to the pants with a belt. And I had different shoes, which those shoes had to go because they were like tiny heel. They were extremely uncomfortable, and they just didn't fit the characters well. They had like on the back, they had like zebra sequins. I'll show a picture if I have one, but I didn't even have a wig. I didn't do like makeup specific to Polnareff. I had like my blue hair at the time. I should put it up in a little ponytail. Like, it was not as developed as it is now. And I didn't have Iggy. My friend came up with the great idea to have Iggy on my shoulder, and then my dad helped me put a lot of my cosplays together, so I'll talk about that later. But right now, after that convention, I was immediately inspired to do full, like, huge cosplays, and the first things I wanted to do was to fix Polnareff, and then I forgot to mention that another anime that I had seen was Berserk, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I wanted to do, with no cosplay experience, I wanted to do a Griffith cosplay, the Hawk of Light, like full armor Griffith, which is insane. I still have not finished it. I did not get to wear my Griffith outfit. The only things I have done for it so far is I've started most of the foam pieces. I made a little baylet, and I have the wig, and I had some contacts which are now expired, so I'll have to rebuy those, but I didn't do too much for the Griffith cosplay. Well, I should say I put like a year's worth of work into it, but it still isn't that much. Like, there's still so much to do, so I am excited to eventually wear that one, although I think before, I just need more experience with working with foam and and attaching armor pieces, and honestly just wearing cosplay out in the world, because it is very uncomfortable. From I could see it from, well, definitely from a like self-conscious standpoint, but I think I do feel more comfortable with myself, so I don't worry too much about the self-conscious part, especially if you're going to a convention where everybody's in cosplay. Honestly, the hardest part of cosplay is how uncomfortable some of these pieces are. Like, even sometimes a wig, like, this cosplay is very comfortable, but the wig did get a little heavy at the end of the day. Like, there's a lot of hair going on. So yeah. So I was working on these cosplays like from like May 2019. Just kept working on them, had to bust them out for May 2020. And then, as everybody knows, coronavirus, the pandemic hit, and they ended up canceling Fanime 2020, but they rolled over our tickets to 2021. But unfortunately, that one was just a virtual event, which I didn't participate in that one, but I'm sure it was fun too. But yeah, I was just really excited for that in-person experience with Fanime 2019. When I first went, I say this a lot, but I feel like when you're in high school, they always tell you just wait till you get to college. Like, that's where you'll find the people that you connect with the most, or that's where you'll find. But I feel like, and I didn't go to college. That's a long story in and of itself. But I felt like when I went to Fanime, like, I don't know, I was just surrounded by like nerds who understand and liked all this stuff, and it just felt like I'd found my people and all these cosplayers, and I was like, yeah, I want to cosplay too. So I just really felt a connection at Fanime 2019, so I was really excited to go back in 2020 and 2021. So when it finally was actually going to happen in 2022, I was crazy excited. I'm really glad it ended up happening. I had a lot of fun. When we were planning for Fanime 2022, we were going to have me and 5 friends. So we were going to have a group of 6 in total. And then, no shade to Fanime or anything, but when our tickets rolled over from 2020, so there was like, there's kind of no reason to keep checking and be like, oh, what should I do? What should I have? I know that they said you have to be fully vaccinated, and I automatically assumed, because the booster was out at that point in February, I think, and so I automatically assumed, oh, we got to get our boosters. So I got me and another friend, and 2 other friends, me and 2 other friends, to go get the booster. But the other half of our group either didn't know or didn't think the booster was necessary, which it wasn't at that time. But then in like March, they kind of quietly added different rules that the booster was necessary to be able to come in, and we did not find that out until like days before it was time to go. So a lot of people, like half of our group, had to back out and not come with us, and it was a little bit of a bummer because we had a group cosplay plan from Shenmue. All of us were going to be characters, and it ended up just being the 3 of us doing a group cosplay, but it was still really fun. I think we will probably do the group cosplay 2023 if everybody does want to go, but yeah. Which, honestly, having 3 people ended up pretty great. Like, we didn't have to cram people into hotel rooms. We ended up switching hotels to a cheaper one, so I think we actually got a nicer, it was farther away. The other one was going to be at the convention, so you could just like walk downstairs and be there. So I do think being farther away, the parking sucked, but other than that, there was so much, like, we were surrounded by food that you could get. There was a pool, free breakfast. It was really nice, and it was way cheaper. We did not blow almost our entire budget on just the hotel, which was going to happen if just the 3 of us went to that first expensive hotel. So that was nice, and we just, I do think with a larger group, especially if the people are like a little different from each other, you can like expand into like more things to do, which I do think having the 3 of us, we tended to chill out more because that's just who we were, whereas I think the 3 that we left were a little bit more party people, so I think we definitely got a different experience, but it was a lot of fun. And I just like chilling out. Who doesn't enjoy chilling out? So my time at Fanime and all 3 of my cosplays I'm going to start talking about. Before I get into that, I do have people to thank for helping me with all the stuff I was able to do. I wanted to thank my friend for showing me anime in the first place, and they supported my cosplay creation. They gave me the idea for Iggy to hang out on my shoulder, which was very popular with people at Fanime. That was really exciting. I liked that. And also my dad, really, like, he doesn't understand anime at all. He's not, obviously not into cosplay, or doesn't really understand that either, but he was just so, like, quietly supportive. He helped me create so many of my outfits, like, or the pieces for my outfits, and if I had any difficulty with how something would work out, he was there for ideas. But also just visiting him at home, he like gave me a space to work on my stuff, and he had like all the tools. Definitely, he did not collect these tools for cosplay creation, but he had like a heat gun for sealing your foam, and he had a Dremel for like smoothing out your foam, and he had a saw to help me cut these earrings, which I'll get more into the outfits in just a couple minutes. So Friday, when we head out Friday, we parked pretty close by, and I had to get a face mask. Like, I wanted a black face. You have to wear a face mask at Fanime the entire time, and I wanted a black face mask to fit the outfit, but it was in my suitcase in the trunk. So I get it out of there, and as I'm grabbing my stuff, like, somebody driving by, like, immediately cat calls, and so like they were like, oh, I'm at Fanime. It felt pretty good, not gonna lie. Little small backstory. I'll get into it in a different video, but kind of in like elementary school, middle school, even high school, I was kind of like, I didn't really have like a skincare routine or anything like that. Didn't really take care of myself, so I was a little bit of like an ugly kid in high school. And so I think it feels very nice to be who I am now, and to have people recognize and like think that I'm cute or attractive, because that really wasn't part of my life at all for some odd years. So it's something I always wanted, but yeah, didn't look that great, so it's nice to be who I am now. Let's see. We got in line to register, but our meter, you go through the line and you show them like this app that you filled out that says that you have the booster, and then also they want to see your ID and things like that, and then so you'll get cleared, you'll get the wristband that says you have the booster, and then you go and get your badge. And the line at that point looked very long to us, and we were like, oh, okay, well, our meter is probably gonna run out, so we should just, like, we're pretty close to hotel check-in time, we should just go check in at the hotel and we'll come back and we'll register and it'll be fine. So we leave Fanime, we call, we see if we can, because it was like an hour away from check-in. We call and ask if we could get an early check-in, but they can't accommodate us at that time, which is totally cool, because then we went to the Habit Burger and we got some food, and that's where I took my only like full outfit photos that I have of that day, because by the time we got into the convention it ended up being really late, so we didn't have the lighting for any more photos. So I am a little disappointed that those are the only photos I got of this cosplay, because to me it was probably the highlight cosplay. And in that photo I don't even have Iggy, because he was in the car since we had just come out of eating. So but still really cool. Felt really good in those photos. I think they look really great. So yeah. So we head to the hotel, we unpack our stuff. It's a really cute room, really nice. It's got like a bedroom, and there's like a little couch space and a sink, and it's just like a mini apartment. It was really cute. We get there, we're excited. We do some freshening up stuff, and then we head back to Fanime. But the line is like 10 times longer. That line that we thought was insanely long, it is now a monster of a line. But, you know, you just want to get in there, and you gotta do what you gotta do. We waited in line. It was fine. I think, especially, I have seen so many more animes since 2019, so like almost every cosplay I was like, I know that person, I know that person, I know that person. And to be honest, no shade at Genshin Impact, but most of the cosplays that I was like, I don't know who they are, I bet they're Genshin Impact. That was my assumption most of the time. So for this cosplay, I did get asked for a couple photos. I thought that was really cool. I got asked for photos of just me, and I got people asking to take photos with me. I thought that was really cool, and that was something that I was really looking forward to in cosplay, because for my simple one, I heard a couple people like from behind me, they like recognized me in that simple one, but you know, it was like very basic cosplay, not something that I would want to take a photo with either. So this one is like much more like lots more love and care put into it, and so it was felt really special having people ask for photos. I liked that. So we get in there, and honestly, probably my favorite part of anime conventions is seeing other people's cosplay, pointing that out, asking for photos, taking photos. Those are my favorite parts. Plus, I like the shopping aspect of it. I like looking through the halls and seeing what kinds of cute stuff you can find. So most of our time was spent in the artist's alley, the dealer's hall, and we did spend some time in the game room. I got asked for a couple photos in there, and we did just sit for a little while, just hanging out, because you do get tired at conventions. It's a lot of walking, especially in like, well, just anybody. You just get tired just walking around a lot. So I love Berserk so much, and actually one of the like photos that I took with someone was and I got there and I was too shy. I saw this like Guts around multiple times, and I was too shy to ask them for photos, and so at one point this Guts is walking past again, and I'm like, oh Guts, and my friend is like, oh excuse me, like my friend wants to take a photo with you, is that okay? And like, bless my friend, because I was so excited. This guy was so nice. He let me hold his sword, so Polnareff was holding a sword, a Guts sword, and it was my dream come true. I think Guts cosplayers are the best. I was so excited. I think I saw 3 in total. So I think this one that I took a picture with was like a cuter one. He was kind of like a, if I had to say like an arc, like he was like a younger Guts, and then the one that was there later on was like in between Black Swordsman, and then the one that I saw when I was in Overhaul cosplay on Saturday, that was like full-blown Black Swordsman, and it was super cool. So I saw like all transitions of Guts, and my favorite was this one. My friends, when we were waiting in that super long line, we actually saw him. He either had a friend or he had an Uber, and he's waiting for his car in his Guts cosplay, and then the car pulls up and they pop open the trunk, and he just like fits his giant sword in the trunk and drives away, and I was like, there goes my photo chance. But later on we see him again, and that's when my friend asked him, and it was really great. I was really happy to take a picture, and yeah, that was really special. I really do hope, honestly, I want to do a Shirke cosplay from Berserk, because I do want to do Griffith too, but I do feel like if I did Griffith, people are going to expect the sword, and I don't know how much I want to do a sword right now, and I know that there could be some like cool cosplay pictures with other Guts if I did Griffith, but I'm a little intimidated by that. So I think the witch that accompanies Guts, the little girl that likes him, I think that would be a really cute compromise. The outfit's really cute and simple, so I'd like to do that and then take photos with these guys in cosplay, because this Guts specifically mentioned that a couple other people had mentioned that they were working on Berserk cosplays, but you didn't see any other Berserk cosplayers, and so yeah, it'd be nice to be another Berserk cosplayer out there eventually. At the end, when we were in that really long line, some guy was like handing out cards for like, there was like this gamer bar nearby, And so we decided to go check it out. Like I said, the three of us were not really party people, so we kind of just went. The line was pretty long for alcohol, and like one of us had to drive home, so we just ended up not getting any drinks. And my friend who hadn't played PC League in a long time tried it out on the computer, tried out some champions, and yeah, we ended up leaving, going home. We got some food. We came home too late that day, so we got some food at the CVS that was close by. Still really good. I was really hungry because I didn't eat that much that day to continue looking good in cosplay. So the second day, Saturday, was my overhaul cosplay, and I'm really proud of how this one turned out. I think, first I do want to talk about the pieces for my Polnareff and how I made them and how I improved on the last one. So for Polnareff, I already had these arm pieces. The earrings, let's see, I think I went to Michael's and I bought like a wooden 4-leaf clover because, you know, they kind of have like heart shapes on the sides, and I took that to my dad's house and we took it apart and he helped me cut like little jaggedy little pieces out of it, and I painted them and attached them with earrings, or made them into earrings, attached the metal pieces on. Felt really good about these. At first I was like, they're too big, don't really like that, but I ended up liking how big they are because, I mean, with all the hair, small earrings would definitely get drowned out. Even these get blocked a lot, so. Next thing, I took a tank top that was really long and I cut it, made it smaller, took off the strap over here, and this is shorter now. And then when it came for Iggy, I had to add a magnet into the shirt plus a little strip of Velcro, and then he has a magnet on his butt and he's got a little strip of Velcro on his paw so that he could sit correctly. Let's see, then the pants. The only thing I did for the pants was I added the red buttons on them. Actually, I guess I did a fair amount to the pants. I added the red buttons. I painted out the silver button on the pants because I just want them to be pure white. I want that silver button there. For the bags, when I originally did the simple cosplay, I had to do a belt and then attach the bags on that way because they didn't snap off like they do now. So what I had to do was I had to sew some pieces of cloth onto the pants, and then I had to turn the bags into snappy things so that I could sit them on the pieces of cloth that I had sewed onto the pants. And they work out really good now. I think they look great. I really didn't like how I had a black belt when I did the simple one, and it just really threw off the cosplay. So proud of those now. The shoes, they're really just like simple, cute like booties, just black. I think they pretty accurately fit how his shoes look. They're a little more on the feminine side, but really great. I like them. I like how this cosplay turned out. I'm pretty proud of this one. I probably felt the best in this one, most comfortable, you know, a little on the sexy side, felt good in it. So I think too, my 3 cosplays in order, probably like Polnareff was the sexy one, Overhaul was the cool one, and then my last one, Shenhua from Shenmue, was like the cute, simple one. And so yeah, I think I liked this one the best. And I think this was like the most, I think Polnareff is a character who is just that perfect in-between cosplay where like he's a well-known, well-loved character, but not that many people cosplay him. So I got asked for the most photos in this cosplay, I think because of that fact that people really like him, but you don't see a bunch of him everywhere. So I think it was kind of like a special thing for people to see, like Polnareff hanging out, especially with Iggy. People really like the Iggy. I feel like I maybe would have had a couple less photo requests if I didn't have Iggy, because a lot of people, maybe they didn't recognize that I was trying to be like a female Polnareff, but then if they saw the Iggy, then that like clinched it for them. They knew who I was. And that was cool. I liked that. So day 2 was my overhaul cosplay. I had a friend in high school who she got into contacts somehow, and so I tried them out too. And I was really good in high school. I was really good at putting them in and out. It took me like no time at one point, and then I stopped because it was just something for fun. And so for overhaul, I definitely felt like I needed the contacts, like the yellow eyes are so striking. So I got contacts, and I did not practice at all before, which I think it ended up fine, but the contacts took me a very, very, very long time. Like mildly stressing out, trying to like poke something into my eye, which I haven't done in a long time, but ended up totally fine. To anyone nervous about like contacts, like, don't worry, it always ends up okay. And getting them out is okay too. I probably had a tiny bit more trouble getting them out. But yeah, it was really worth it. I thought it was really cool, part of the cosplay, and not having it, I think it would have been a lesser cosplay. So for overhaul, I was really proud of this cosplay, and I don't know why. Like, obviously, your cosplay's still great, even if people don't ask you for a million photos, even if nobody compliments you, your cosplay's still like, you worked hard on it and stuff. But I think from the great reception that Polnareff had, I was disappointed with that nobody asked me for overhaul photos. I feel like I expected like a photo or two, but again, it really doesn't matter. I think just with the great reception that Polnareff had, I was like, oh, anybody that like comes in like big or like any kind of cosplay that's easily recognizable, then people just want photos. That's cool. That's kind of an expectation now. But yeah, I got lots of compliments, so that was really nice. And I didn't take as many photos in my Polnareff cosplay, but my friend took a lot of photos of me in overhaul cosplay, and actually did like, actual like poses that overhaul does. So that was pretty cool. I liked that, and I was proud of the outfit myself. So that's really all that matters. Let's see. We ended up leaving early that day. Oh, actually, before that, at Fanime, they do like cosplay gatherings. Like, there's certain places where, like, if you have a My Hero cosplay, or if you have a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure cosplay, or if you have Jujutsu Kaisen, just if you have a cosplay, then there's a place that you can go to gather and take photos with all the other people who are also dressed as people from that anime. And so we went to we didn't go to the My Hero one because I had specific reasons for choosing the cosplays on the days that I did, and so the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gathering was on Sunday, and I wore Polnareff on Friday, and the My Hero gathering was on Friday, and that's when I wanted to wear my Polnareff one, so I didn't end up going to a My Hero specific one, but I did go to a Shonen Jump gathering, and that was huge. There were so many Shonen Jump people there that I was intimidated to get in the giant group photo because it was so long that I was like, where am I gonna fit in? Like, my friends weren't in cosplay, so they wouldn't have been in the photo too. I was too intimidated to get into that giant group one, but then after they do Shonen Jump, then they narrow it down. They're like Dragon Ball and Naruto and My Hero, and so for the My Hero one, there was only an All Might, a Deku, and a Bakugo, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in there. Like, I was really nervous, really shaky, but I still went up there and did it, and I feel pretty good about that. My friend took a video and some photos of me up there. I'm disappointed when I came back. Like, I was so nervous that I was just doing like whatever. You get to do 2 poses. They tell you to switch poses after a photo, and I was so nervous that just the first poses that popped into my head, I did those, and they were not overhaul at all. They were just random. I mean, I tried to look like cool, like edgy villain, but yeah, right after that, I was really disappointed with myself, and that's when my friend took me to go take like more like accurate poses, accurate overhaul poses. So that was cool. We ended up leaving early on Saturday because on Friday all the food near the hotel had closed, so we wanted to go get food earlier, and honestly that was pretty nice to get out of that beak. It was pretty rough, so it was nice to get out of that one. But I had a really good time cosplaying Overhaul. So the full thing for that, all my pieces for that cosplay, I got that wig, I got the contacts, I made the beak myself. I'm really proud of this. Which this is one of the things that I would go to my dad's house and I'd work on. So I think this, when I chose to do an Overhaul cosplay, I had kind of put aside Griffith at this time, and I thought that this beak would be like a perfect practice for working with foam, because I'm definitely not a pro, very much a novice. And so I think this gave me like a little bit of confidence. Like I don't think it fits my face perfectly. It's a little big on the sides, and it's just big overall. Like it ended up very long, but I'm still proud of it. I think it's a very striking piece on my outfit, and I was really proud. Of the 3 other overhauls that I saw, I think they had masks that I recognized from like Amazon and stuff like that, so I felt pretty proud that I had my own creation here. This took me a while just because I do a lot of the stuff I work on for cosplay. It's like when I have spare time, I work on a lot of other stuff most of the time, and then so my cosplay would be like a Friday here and there or something. So this took me probably longer than it would take if I just worked on it straight. But I got lots of paint for it. I put together all the pieces. I checked out a YouTube video. Like I would look at their templates and then I drew my own templates. So I didn't use, or like I just drew my own templates from looking at someone else's piece that they'd already made, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. Yeah, I think the paint looks cool. I added some like Sharpie details to make it look more comic book, because that's what that YouTube video had suggested, but I think it's a little bit subtle. It's probably the most noticeable on the front pieces, but yeah, I think it looks great. And then the strap, I was supposed to do a strap down here so that it would go around the back of my neck, and a strap up here that would go over my head, but these pieces were too low that when I put them, like strap them onto the back of my neck, they just like it would just fall too far forward. So I ended up with just the one strap, which I was nervous that it would come apart, but it did really well. All the Velcro stayed. The pieces that I hot glued on, they stayed put. Really thankful for that none of my cosplays fell apart. So yeah, super proud of this, and I'm nervous about like storing it in my cosplay box, so I'm probably gonna have this as like a room decoration. And yeah, it's just something to feel good about too. Cool room piece, and a proud moment for me. So day 3, our last day was Sunday, and that was the day that we chose to do our group cosplay. One of my friends really loves Shenmue, like it's a childhood game for them. They're obsessed with it, and they showed it to me and my other friend, and we had so much fun just playing, going through all the games together, and it was a really special experience. So we knew going into this that people would not recognize our cosplays that much, especially, like Shenmue the anime was out at this point, but we really figured that not too many people would have watched it, and but we still went into it really excited because we liked our outfits and we thought it was going to be fun. So I was Shenhua, my friend was Ryo, my other friend was Guizong, and then we were going to have the people who were left behind we were going to have a Nozomi, we were going to have a Ren, and I don't know if this other person was going to do it, but we joked that the third person of that group that got left behind, we joked that they were going to be Chai, which I think it would have fit them well, but we didn't end up doing that. We just had our 3, for my Shenhua cosplay, that one was pretty simple. I bought the pants, I bought the shoes, and I bought a yellow shirt, but I had to add all those red details onto the shirt, which was kind of, it was a little bit, I'm not that great at sewing onto clothes. It always looks kind of awkward when I do it, so that was a little difficult for me. But yeah, I think it ended up looking okay, especially from afar. It looks alright. And I bought the beret, and I had to sew it onto the wig because there's no way it was gonna hang out. And I had to style that wig. I got that one from Epic Cosplay, and it was just like really long bangs, and I had to braid it, of course. And I cut the bangs and styled them. And yeah, and I got earrings for that one too. And so yeah, Shenhua was pretty simple, pretty easy. I added this one like semi last minute into my cosplay rotation, so I'm glad that it worked out well and that I was able to do that. And it was really fun. I think my cosplay, this was definitely my most comfortable cosplay, although I did with like the wig, because it was braided, it showed off like a little bit of like the like cheek and ear, like bottom of the ear, which I don't know why, but I don't really like that part of my face that much, so there were times that I felt uncomfortable in this cosplay just imagining how that part of me looked. But otherwise, I think it was a pretty cute outfit, really comfy, and so I don't think this one was a bust. I'd definitely wear it again for group cosplays. I don't think I'd wear it if I was the only one cosplaying, but would definitely like to do it for another group. So Sunday was a lot more chill. In terms of like photos, I ended up, the first photo I got asked for, someone did not know who I was, but they thought the outfit was cute, which I really liked. That was nice. And then later on, we're walking around and we're all, we're a little bit like, yeah, nobody's gonna recognize. That's like, it's whatever, we expected it, but you still feel like a little bit bummed, because you do imagine that like one moment of someone being like, oh, it's you, and you're like, wow, yeah, I can't believe. So we've been walking around for a while, the three of us, and as we're walking, my two friends need to go to the bathroom, so we walk over that way, and some guy comes up as they're heading into the bathroom, and he's like, oh, can I get a picture of your Shenhua cosplay? And I'm like, wow, yeah, we didn't think anybody would recognize us, that's so cool. And like I was talking with this guy, and I was like, oh, we have a group, like Rio and Guizan, they just went to the bathroom, like just wait and we'll get a group photo. And he was really nice, and he went back to his table, and I think he got his phone or something and came back and waited, and they came out pretty fast and we took our group photo, and it was really nice. It was really exciting to have somebody recognize like a little niche cosplay, especially of like these like ancient video games. If people haven't watched the anime, then the only other way they'd know is from these old games, so it's just really special to have somebody recognize that. That was nice. Yeah, and so for the rest of the day, we tried to go and see, we'd been going to a couple panels throughout the other 2 days, and we tried to go to more panels today, but it really seemed like everybody had the same idea. And so for small conference rooms where they didn't expect that many people to want to go to a panel, there was just this enormous line of people, and so not everybody was going to get in, and we just ended up, we were really tired. We've been waking up really early, especially me, because I was doing cosplays all the days, so we just ended up heading home early, and it ended up being nice. I think we missed some traffic, and we ended up getting food from a really good place that we don't usually go to, because it was kind of like special end of trip. It was really nice. I had a good time. So yeah, I was just really, if I could go to more, if I could like make it my job to be like professional cosplayer, I would definitely want to do that. Just working on outfits all day. Going to conventions I think would be a lot of fun, so I would like to go to more. So far the only one I have really is Fanime under my belt for 2 different years, and yeah, there's a couple more that I'd like to go to, but we'll see how things go. And yeah, in terms of, I've got a couple cosplays that I'm floating around right now that I'd like to start, and like I will probably, if there's a 3-day thing, I'm thinking I'll probably switch up and either I'll probably do like 2 cosplays. If I have a 3-day, I'll probably do 2 cosplays, and then the last day will just be like casual clothes, because 3 cosplays for me definitely did feel like a lot of work, and by that 3rd day I didn't feel that great in my outfit because I was so tired and so kind of out of it. So I think it would be nice to probably do 2, but who knows, maybe I'll just end up doing 3 again. It was nice. So I did want to, just for fun, show off some of the stuff that I got at this Fanime, because, like I said, I like the shopping part. So one of the things I got was he's a keychain, but you can also turn him into a little stand. It's a little Kyo-soma, because I had just finished Fruits Basket not long before we went to Fanime, and yeah, Kyo is great. Fruits Basket is great, highly recommend. I want to read the manga, but obviously anyone who enjoys manga, and especially the ones with a bunch of volumes, you know that you have to save up a ton to be able to continuously read them, so I'm working on that. I didn't get this purse from Fanime, but a little backstory. I got this purse because I had so many pins that I wanted to be able to, I wanted a purse to be able to display them on. So I got this purse, and then at Fanime I got, let's see, this little Stitches pin, and this little Moogle pin my friend got me. Really cute. I think they're great additions. I got for my sketchbook, I wanted a little keychain. I got a little Rohan to hang out on my sketchbook, because it's kind of ridiculous, but the way he just flings ink at a page and creates a masterpiece definitely inspires me for my art. I want to be an artist, so yeah, I hope he will continue to fuel my art dreams. So that's why Rohan lives in my sketchbook. I got this Sleepy Piggy, who I think is really cute. When we were in line, we were seeing a bunch of people come out carrying these, and we were like, oh, that's Sleepy Piggy, it's really cute. Like, we kept seeing it, kept thinking it was cute, and when we went to the dealer's hall to find it, we weren't finding it anywhere, and we were like, oh no, it must be sold out, like, aw, dang. And then when we were about to leave, we ended up at one table, and they had this little guy hanging out there, and we were like, whoa, how much? And they told us the price, and he was like, this is the last one. And we were like, that's it, we gotta get it. So I ended up getting a little Sleepy Piggy. He's really cute. And then I got posters, which I'll show off. So this guy was in the dealer's hall, and it actually wasn't the artist himself that I was talking to, but he had like some representative or friend selling the posters for him. But I saw the Sora one. He had some really cool ones. He had a Crom one too, which I'd like to get, but the Sora one was really good, and my friend convinced me, because you just normally don't see cool Sora stuff. It's usually cutesy. Not that that's not great, but it was really cool to see, like, kind of rare, like, he's looking cool, he's striking a pose kind of poster. So I was excited about that. I'm planning on getting a frame for this one, and my next one, I got this one fittingly when I was in Overhaul Cosplay. I think this one's really great, super cool with the foil. I couldn't remember the artist name for the Sora one, but for this one, little shout out. Her artist signature is Crimson Chains, but I found her on Etsy as Ink Junk Art, so if you want to check her out, her stuff's really great. She was really nice. It's kind of silly, but I find the Artist's Alley a tiny bit intimidating. One, because there's like 10 million people in there trying to shop while you are, but also there's just something like a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit vulnerable about you're just walking past these stands with all these people's art and they're just like, you know, they're conscious of you quickly appraising their art or scanning for something that you want to purchase. And I don't know, I guess it's just normal, but I was definitely aware of that fact. And so props to anyone who goes to that artist alley and sells stuff, because I think it does take courage, especially if there's rude people who are making comments about your art. I don't think I specifically noticed that, but you know, there's always a risk. But I mean, I guess if you're doing art, you have to be able to take criticism, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, you know, it's constructive. But yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to say about Fanime. I had a really great time. I'm really looking forward to any future conventions, even if it's just in a year going to Fanime again. Like, I'm excited for that. Yeah, and I'm excited to work on more cosplays, to start some more, start thinking about which ones I'd like to do. The ones I have in my head right now, probably top 3, are Saray from Tales of. I was really hoping to see one, because I saw one in 2019, but I didn't get to see one at 2022, which I was hoping I would, but that's okay, because, you know, I'll just have to fill that void. And I'd like to do Shiva from Streets of Rage, because I think he's really cool, and plus it would probably be a very similar, like, Shenhua comfortable cosplay with those, like, baggy pants. And then I think I would do, like, since he's shirtless, I would do, like, a little, like, I think it's called, like, a bandeau bra or something. It's just like a strip. So I'd do, like, a black strip and a shirt and a wig with a headband. Like, that would be a pretty cool cosplay. I really like that character. I think he looks cool, and it would be simple, although, you know, don't know how much it would be recognized at an anime convention, since he is video game. But, you know, there was, like, Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, so. Then, as I mentioned, the other one, I'd like to do that Berserk. I'd like to do a Shirake cosplay, because I think it would be pretty simple, pretty cute. And then I could take pictures of Guts and be like, well, hopefully I'm sure all these Guts cosplayers have read the manga, especially the like full armor ones, because you have to get pretty far in the manga to where he gets that armor. So, but yeah, it would be cool. It'd be cool to take more photos with Guts. That was probably the highlight, was taking pictures with Guts cosplayers. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you've stayed this long, I really appreciate you listening to my anime stories, my anime convention stories, and my explanation of my cosplays, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!